Mate, it was obviously the trip across the ditch. How have the boys been this week?
Yeah, it's been a good week of work and preparing for this game. Wellington is a good team. Obviously, they've changed their style a little bit compared to last season. They play very high up the pitch, very high pressing, and getting behind as often as they can. So it's a little bit of a change of style, which is good, and we've prepared accordingly for this game. We're looking forward to it.
Did anything surprise you from your own game one that you want to keep pushing on?
Surprise me?
Yeah.
Look, I think it was a professional performance. After going down a man, we showed the type of attitude, the type of team first value that we believe in, to work hard for one another, and the passion. You know, all those things we talk about, those values, I think we embodied it in a game like that, where it was the first game of the season. They're always tricky games, and we had mentioned that to the players before the game. They're more or less like a grand final. Everyone comes out, you know, after a long time, not having played a game, and they give everything. And going down to man, we just embodied all those values and really performed well and worked hard to get the points, which was so important. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning points and getting points week in, week out. So we need to embody those values every week, but at the same time, yeah, you know, not receive red cards, stay with 11 men and try to play our style of football as well and get some more goals on the board.
The road trip factor for a new team can really bring the boys together, but does it feel like they're already gelling pretty well?
No, I think they're pretty much together. A lot of work went into that during the pre-season, and I think you won't get a result like you did the previous week if they weren't together. And but they're always looking forward to an away trip, and it's a different challenge. It's another challenge now. That the one that we just had has passed. You get those first round jitters out of the way, and you look forward to this game in Wellington. It's also, yeah, like I said, a different challenge. You know, the weather's completely different to what it is here. You've got a team now with a completely different style and what they're trying to do. So, yeah, I know it's cliche, but it's game by game, and that's how, when you're playing a championship like this, it's, you know, you just got to focus on game by game and prepare accordingly for each game. And they'll be looking forward to, one, playing away from home, but also, you know, getting the result we want.
A couple of injury concerns, I should say, coming out of the game last Friday night. Chris Long and also James McGarry. Where are they at as far as, will they travel? Is everything okay with those two boys?
Yeah, they'll be travelling. They're fully fit.
And also as well, obviously, Dimitri received a red card. He'll be suspended this week. Who likely perhaps will come into the defence? Would Lucas as Ben potentially?
Yeah, look, Lucas came in for him at half time. There's also Benny Wallen that's making his way back, and carefully making his way back, getting him into the condition we want him to be in, and so on. So, and there are a few defenders out that are slowly making their way back, and we're getting them fully fit and to be right for the rest of the season. So there is some backup there, and I think we've got enough depth in the squad to cover at the moment these early days of missing one player.
Obviously, the trip to New Zealand, it's good to actually get a long road trip sort of out of the way. Obviously, the two New Zealand trips plus the Perth trip. Did you prefer to get the way the fixture is formed, where you have pretty much the two New Zealand trips inside, you know, 5 weeks at the start of the season?
Listen, if we have to talk about our fixture, we could be talking for about half an hour, so I won't go into that. I'm sure that later on in the season we'll talk a little bit about it. The only thing I'm going to say is that the mantra that we've believed from day one, and we've said from day one, anyone, anywhere, anytime, we'll fight to win. So that's all I can say about that. Now, whether it's at the start of the season, end of the season, there's pros and cons for all that. You know, you just take it by what the fixture gives you, and you prepare accordingly, and you go out and play.
Also, as well, the appointment of Borja Sudo this week for the Brisbane Roar, we call it the B team.
Yep.
How important is that B team going to be, as far as maybe not just right now being as off-season the NPL, but sort of getting into the back end of the season, giving young players that opportunity to potentially make the squad, especially if you get your goals and you hope that the side is challenging for finals and beyond?
Look, it bridges the gap from where the young boys are at and where we want them to be at, and bringing in someone like Borja Suto, who's worked with me previously and will align exactly the way we want to work, will help those boys bridge that gap a lot quicker and a lot easier in terms of not only aligning the first team with the B team and vice versa in terms of how we want to play, but also with the methodology, which will help a lot. So when they do come up, they're comfortable coming up. They know how to work in terms of what methodology we use and how we want to play, and they can be themselves and be a little bit freer without being, whenever a young player comes up, they're always going to be that little bit nervous. They're coming up to the first team. You want to take away a lot of that nervousness and give them an environment where they know what they have to do and how they have to perform. And I think that by aligning our B team with our senior A team, it's just going to help that development come closer and quicker. And I think we've already started bridging that gap in terms of bringing a lot of these boys to senior training in the last 4 months. But we want to do it where we work in tandem, we work together, and we look at it not two teams. I know we call it the B team, but that we look at it that we got 46 players under us, and they're going to come under our head of performance, they come under our S&C, they come under our coaches and our senior coaches. We know a lot of these boys really well, and we've been able to recruit along with the B team coaches. So we're really looking forward to that program as well and what these boys will do in the following season.
And just finally as well, probably missed not talk about your opponents. A 2-2 draw there, a fighting 2-2 draw over in Perth. What are you expecting from Wellington to come out, obviously being their first home game as well, and how are you going to counteract that?
Oh look, looking at them and the way they played in Perth, they were very aggressive. And like I said, they're on the front foot, they're defending very high, they're looking to play forwards very quickly and with every opportunity to play forwards. And look, it was an interesting game because I think in the first 20 minutes maybe Perth could have been 4-0 up and it would have been game over. Perth didn't take those chances and the game swayed the other way, and Wellington did take theirs, and that's when they made a real game of it, and it was a good game to watch in terms of entertainment, forward attacking football and so on. So I don't expect any different from them if they've gone and done that away from home. Obviously, it's Chiefy wants to play that way, and he's spoken quite a bit about his style of play and backing this way, which he didn't do last season. So I'm pretty sure to expect the same at home in Wellington.